Oh, I have so much to share. I have a couple of different things I want to touch on. I will begin with the message, the downloads that I'm receiving, which I am still in the process of it, so I'm going to do my best to put it into words. I've been very strong in my connection lately again, and so when information comes through really fast, and for me to put it into physical or tangible words, it sometimes is a little bit challenging because it's just rushing through. But Spirit's basically saying, as we get into the thicker areas, into the roots of the dismantling, it's going to be very important that we remember to check in and see where we're playing a role in participating with keeping this whole evil going. And what I was being shown and explained by Spirit is that all of us have a line, like we all drew a line in the sand, so to speak. This is like an analogy. And so that line that we've drawn represents where we're at in this process, as far as what is it that we're allowing or contributing to, because we're not ready to process or accept the depth of where this evil goes and how far it branches. And so to give you, to be more specific, we are all pretty much aware now by this time. We're in the thick of it, right? We're in the middle of it. For the last couple of years, we've been processing and leading up to when things are going to be being discovered, being shown. Well, we are now in the very middle of it. And with that, the layers are going to continue to go deeper into the truth, the level of truths that are going to be shown. And in those level of truths, Spirit is asking for us to see, are we willing to completely surrender and move that line out of the way so that everything can be dismantled? So although we're aware, and I say we're because if you're watching this, that means that you've been following and you know what's going on, and this includes myself. So we're aware of, that all this has been planned. We are aware that the shots they have their own other agenda and purpose and why that was created and implemented. We are aware that the face coverings are not working and that they're actually serving for a different purpose. And we have these level of awareness, right? We have this level of awareness of this whole thing. But what is important is that we now need to really check within and see where it is that we are contributing into allowing for the evil to continue moving forward. And what I mean by that is I'm going to give you a couple of analogies. Some of you may not be ready to hear this, and this is what I'm talking about, as far as we have drawn a line as far as how much we're ready. I'm trying to figure out the proper way of describing this, but I feel that you will understand what I'm saying. You will understand what I'm saying. And so we have accepted all these things that I just mentioned, but then there's what Spirit was showing me is that there's these areas that the evil is part of that people are not ready to surrender, are not ready to let go of. And so, for example, people know by now, most people know that there's a huge problem with trafficking, and that our children have been a part of this abuse from the evil. However, where there is a disconnect or not willing to surrender and let go is that they're still supporting the Super Bowl, when that is one of the biggest opportunities. That is when the most trafficking is done, right? But as soon as they hear that, it's like they don't want to hear it, or they disconnect, and they're still supporting the game, when by now it's well known that they are rigged, that they are planned, and that it's all an illusion for the people to be kept busy, right? Not be paying attention. Look over here. You know, we're entertaining you for the sake of, for you not to pay attention what's really happening underneath. And so that's where Spirit's saying, what role are you playing in allowing this to continue to happen? And I know that that's probably going to offend or trigger people, but it's not meant for that. It's meant for you to really dig deeper into knowing that we have to completely shift things in order for all of this to be completely dismantled. We have to deroot everything and not allow it to grow its little tentacles into other areas. Otherwise, all this is for nothing. You know, another example that I've been shown is, you know, there's people that are very well aware that Disney, I can't say the whole thing, I got to be careful, but the place where everybody goes to have a grand time and where you can, you know, kids, you know, everybody can be a kid. Well, that place is rooted in all that. But yet, people still continue to go there and support them, fund them, when it's well known now that there are tunnels there and that kids have been going missing there. And there's a cognitive distance that happens when people are shown that that place that they're supporting is part of it. And somehow within them it's like, oh, but it's fine. Like, they're not registering, or they don't want to. They're not ready to let go of that or to accept it. So this is what Spirit's saying, is like, there's layers of this. It's not just the surface. It's not just about exposing the truth. What good is exposing the truth if we still participate? We still are allowing this to happen because we're funding them. We are aware of it, but somewhere, somehow, we're still going to the very places that are hurting our children. I don't get that. And so as the layers come off, it's gonna be very important that we check in and see where's that line for us. And I'm including myself in it, because there's been truths that have come out throughout this whole process that were very, they shook me up, you know? It's like we have to then be faced with the grief of what we used to think was, but we've been lied to, and then we have to process it. And then there's also guilt with feeling, for me anyways, I'm just sharing my process. There was guilt with like the knowing that somehow I was participating in it, and so I was feeling guilty that I contributed to it. But then also there was anger that I was fooled and that I was lied to for so long. So there's so many layers of emotions that we need to deal with as the things continue to get dismantled. And for some people, they're not gonna really accept or believe that a lot of these celebrities, actors that they were looking up to are a big part of all of it. So it's like, where is your line? You know, you're willing to say, yes, I see that this whole thing is a big plan and it's evil, and that the media is part of it and that they've been lying to us. But then when it touches the areas that you were a part of or that you supported, not knowing, not realizing that it was all connected, where's your line? You know, where are you participating, and how can you help change that? Because remember, it's about really just going through all of it. Because if we're going to change this, we have to go into all areas of it, and we have to be honest with ourselves, and that's going to take a lot of work as it gets exposed, but also just to heal through it. So with that in mind, it's important that we do continue to do work, and that is a big reason why I'm offering classes again. It's not just me, oh hey, you know, I have a class again. Spirit is putting it in my heart, in my awareness, what it is that is going to help us right now, help humanity process, stay rooted in your center, allow for you to be able to process as we go into the deeper layers of this. So when I offer something, it's not just merely, it's a class, an opportunity for you to learn something. It's deeper than that. If you took the last class, then you know that often what happens is Spirit just comes in and takes over. And most of the time we're not even talking about what the topic of the class was, because Spirit is just really working on what is needed at the moment for that particular group. And yes, we do talk and touch on certain things, and then I open it up for discussion, and then whatever needs to happen happens, because it's about having support, right? Supporting each other, being a community. So if you are able to attend, I recommend that you do. You know, the one coming up is a detox class, but it's not just about learning about detoxification. I mean, it is. You're going to get a whole lot, but it's also learning, it's also about, because of the jabs, it's so important right now for us to maintain our body. And so Spirit is saying people really need to connect to their body, because one, it's important that we continue to detox because of that, what I just said. But two, people are out of their bodies right now because it's hard to process all this. If you watch the video where I talked about hypnosis and how we walk around out of our body, or we're just in our head, we're not walking grounded or rooted. And so as we talk about the detox, we're not just going to touch on, just the detoxification process. We're going to really touch on how to be in your body. We're going to talk about so many things. So as we move through this, you need to really keep working so that you can ground yourself. Here we are in the middle of all this, and I know that most of you are feeling it, because some of you have reached out to me and expressed that it's very heavy. This energy, the emotions, it's very heavy. And it is. And it is. And so it's about supporting each other, coming together, being in community. That's how we get through this. I've said this many a times. So I encourage you to continue working on yourself. So those are the main things that I wanted to share today. They're pretty big things because as things continue to get unlayered, it's going to take a lot for us to really check within and see how is it that we are participating. And we need to stop. We need to really just surrender and know that things need to get cleared out, not just, like the media and the, politicians, and things need to get cleared out from our space too. The things that are not serving us, the things that are not serving our children. So places, events, people, we have to see what it is that we need to really let go of so that we can have a clear and sturdy foundation for the world, but also individually. So yeah, I feel that I covered everything. Again, if usually I end up remembering something, so always check the bottom. Check the bottom. I will also add the link on the bottom to the class, and feel free to share with people that you feel are having a hard time right now and need support through it. It's important. It's an important time for us to come together and support each other. There's other classes that are going to be coming up, so look out for it. If you're not part of the newsletter or community and you'd like to keep in touch, then subscribe to our newsletter. Other than that, again, hope you're doing well. Stay strong. We're gonna be okay. Most importantly, we will get through this, but it does take effort on our part. We can't just sit back and just wait till all this is done. No, we need to walk through it in order for us to get to the other side. I hope.